it's such an incredible pleasure to celebrate the work of Lynn and Venetia in creating a graphical representation of the Worldwork Greece experience. Honor the land on which we are all meeting, spanning the entire planet, honor the traditional owners. I also want to honor Arnold Mindell for creating the work that we call process work, for unfolding our own experience and for building community through difficulties. That is what Worldwork celebrates.
It's a real privilege to have been asked by you. Thank you. I think it's a beautiful, artistic and deep book.
This book teaches about Worldwork through the relationship of two friends.
We are of a small press. We get to know the authors.
The collaboration between us in producing the finished product, for me, has been a mirror of Worldwork.
The way this whole book came about is so intrinsically embedded in our friendship. We were studying together, and Venetia and I would go on these endless walks after class. When our studies finished, I had this idea that, maybe we could do a graphic novel. It was a lot of fun. What I really love about graphic novels is you stop and you look at each single frame and there's words there. It's really condensed. Each picture says more than the words.
I was just reminded of, it's the first page of chapter 2, where you come and say good morning to me. We are at Worldwork and we're sitting at a coffee place, quiet, not talking. So many things of our relationship and personal things are in the book. The readers might see them and might not, but if you look close, you're going to see them. We both love the work, process work and Worldwork, and we were very excited to do this creative representation.
Dreaming into community speaks to a high dream about the world and being able to work on all of the conflicts in the world and build community through that, to try and give people an experience of what it's like to be in Worldwork or to go through some of the group processes at Worldwork.
The term Worldwork and process work is an awareness attitude, and deep democracy is about making space and bringing all the voices of the field in the discussion and processing so that we create more awareness. Worldwork is this coming together and trying to raise awareness about ourselves and the world we're in, and the interconnectedness of the personal, the social, the political, the world. Worldwork is also a seminar to work on conflict resolution and on building community. 1991 was the first one, and it's a big event for the community and, in my opinion, for the world.
Spending 3 years processing that experience, having the distance of the video, sifting through them, enabled us to reconstruct the event along with the feeling tone of our memories.
So the first chapter took us almost a year and a half. The second chapter took us a year. The third chapter took us just a few months, and then Lynn came to Greece and we went back to Porto Heli where Worldwork took place.
One panel flowed into the next so that there would be some kind of continuity visually as well as in words. The aesthetics of the layout of the page, how that looks in relation to the next page.
Then how are we going to pace things using not only the visual itself, but the number of panels. When the pace was faster, we would use more panels in the row, like tuck, tuck, tuck. And then we want to slow down and we would use larger images, more open spaces, less words sometimes. So,
or no words.
Or no words. No. Lynn would take it from there and put it on paper. Her amazing artistic nature and who she is. And then Lynn came to Greece and we went back to Portoheli where Worldwork took place and we were working together.
To honor that it's Worldwork in Greece, the process on what's happening in Greece. And then the other two processes were personal in different ways to both of us. Refugees in Europe, pretty much what happens in a lot of other places, even here in Australia. Capitalism and slavery.
Many hours working through Skype and Zoom, processing with each other our personal experiences and our own understandings and trying to find the main storyline and creating the concept, each and every frame together.
The storyline in the book follows what actually happened to some extent. There's a lot of creative play in it.
Video study and video analysis and transcribing to Paula and Dreammaker.io. The app you created was the most important tool.
People's inner voices to give a thread of continuity through the group process. What's that person thinking? What are these people feeling? Looking at people's signals and dreaming into that ourselves so that we can flesh out the viewpoint from different places. If we could manage a page a week just in draft form, process-oriented psychology, it's signal-based. So we were looking at people's signals and facial expressions, what people were feeling.
What kind of drawing, what kind of image would convey the atmosphere that we want to show?
Structure of group processes and introduce concepts like time spirits and ghost roles. Those energies that are being spoken about be brought into a group process and worked with.
All the facilitators of the three group processes are identifiable. The rest of the people, the images are chained, and that's important for confidentiality reasons. Well, the challenges are the joys also. We were very good friends already, but this is how our relationship deepened and grew. I grew personally, and I grew in this relationship and this team, and that happened through challenges. Everything that we were trying to show, we needed to process it as inner work first, process it in our relationship, and come to a point that this was good for both of us to put down.
We had disagreements around the interpretation of what was going on. Because we're different people, we also have different cultural perspectives. And that was really useful. My ignorance made Venetia more articulate and vice versa. That comes out in the way in which we've constructed our storyline. So the distance factor, a meeting every week for 3 years on Skype or Zoom.
Brings me tears what you say.
Yeah.
It's all about field theory. Our growing relationship allowed each one of us to bring in our disagreements or our overwhelm or anything that was happening and stay with it and process it until we felt some kind of resolution. I'm just going to repeat that. It's field theory. I don't think it ever happened that we got overwhelmed both at once. One of us would pick up the other role that would say, hey, come on, friend, we can do it. Or let's slow down. Or here we are. This is challenging. Let's stay here and let's give it time to process.
Sometimes one of us would have to drop out and the other would just like go, okay, friend, I'm just going to do this for a little while and keep it turning over. Where we encapsulate the experience of somebody who is a refugee as a board game of borders.
Black African woman saying during the group process all the ways the Western world has swallowed up Africa.
It's a book that's come out of a big event that is about struggle and then struggling to put it into a teaching guide for people who are studying process work in a format that anybody could read so people could see what it was like. A lot of Worldwork is behind confidentiality, so you don't get to see it unless you actually come. I hope that this gives you a little glimpse of how process work works with large group processes and conflict in large groups.
This work, this book we wrote together is the first time that I feel I'm sharing myself and my experience through the experience of 536 people. And this is very big for me and touching.
What I'm proud of is I know I could never have done this on my own.
I'm proud that it's an educational piece. Someone can learn about group process. I'm proud of our relationship and how we worked through this work. And also I want to say I'm proud to be part of this community. It's a challenging thing trying to work on all these issues and bring awareness. And everybody who joins in, I feel proud to be part of that. I think we were the vessels to bring out this work.
The way it's been received has been really touching.